How's it going, people? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Loose Cannons podcast, episode 23. Only 23. It feels like we have been going for a lot longer, but I mean, in terms of the new format, it even feels like we've been going longer than that. But big up the community, love for the love, the support is supporting for sure. So like, hype, subscribe, do all of that. Individual channel links are in the description. As always, big up Jordan, big up James, always in the building. And as always, we got a special guest. We got Chloe in the building. What are you saying, Chloe? Good?
I'm good.
Come on. Chloe's Instagram is in the description below. So if you want to get to know more about Chloe, go follow the Instagram that's there. Is Instagram the only one you've got?
I'm on TikTok as well, but Instagram's more my thing.
Don't worry, man. TikTok, that's the one to be on. I can't lie. That's what that's what the algorithm says anyway. So people, I'm going to put the Instagram there, but Chloe is on TikTok as well. You'll get to know and get more familiar on this show, but you can follow her journey over on her social channels as well. Jordan.
I also want to ask Chloe a question before we kind of get into the pod. We've had a few women on our podcast, right? And it's quite clear there's been in the last year or two in particular, like a massive wave of women video content, football creators. Like what was it for you that made you want to go from being a big Arsenal fan to deciding, boom, I want to make a channel, I want to start up a little thing? Because it's been a very male-dominated space for YouTube started.
Do you know what I had? So I had a YouTube page years ago, before COVID, and that was doing quite well. And I would do like a lot of grassroots, and I had a lot of connections at Palace. So I used to I'd interview the players and I'd go to grassroots clubs and stuff like that. So I always knew I wanted to do something in sport. And then COVID happened and it just kind of killed it for me. And I guess I just lost my mojo. And then obviously recently, to be fair, it's my friends, because I get into it a lot with like a lot of my male friends and, with football banter and stuff like that. And then they was like, why don't you just start posting about football again? And I was like, I don't know, because, it's like, I feel like when it comes to women, there's this kind of prove yourself mentality. So it's like a lot of men sometimes when I'll be like, oh yeah, football, I'll just mention football, the game's on later, they'll be like, oh well, who won the World Cup in 1981, or like some shit. And I'm just like, it's just like, prove yourself, like, oh, do you really like football, you're a girl? And I don't know, I think I just got over that. And then it was when the Premier League was about to start this year, I just did a random video on TikTok and I was like, oh, the Premier League's back in 3 days, because I was in America and I was bored, and I just did it and posted it, and then that got a bit of like motion. And then I started talking about football more and just posting little banter videos, and I was like, oh, people kind of like it. So I was like, oh, if people like what I'm saying or what I'm doing, I'll just give people what they want, so
wave, you know what we'll do?
Sorry,
go on, John. We'll put the YouTube in the description as well, just in case you decide to pick it back up. Who knows?
Yes,
put that in the description. But
what happened to there? What happened to my camera? What's going on? Can you hear me still?
Perfect. Yeah, just before streaming, people, just before recording, Jordan had the cheek to say, Chloe, he's known for his quality audio and crisp setup. That's what he's known for, apparently.
What's going on?
Now look at her.
What's going on?
Jordan, it's the best you've ever looked, mate.
There, you're back now.
I'm back. Wow, I don't know what happened there. Oh, it's gone again. No, this is bad. This is really embarrassing. But you know what? My words are better than my face anyway. So let's just run through my final question.
I think people might prefer the audio.
They might. Record views. Is there like a female content community, Chloe? Like, because a lot of the boys link up, but do you do a lot of content or chat with other Arsenal fan women content creators?
Not really. Do you know, it's strange, because I've had like followers DM me and they're just like, you've created this space and like, it's nice to see women doing this. And like, I've had followers like, can you set up a WhatsApp group? But in terms of actual female content creators, there's probably one creator who followed me and she always shows love on my posts, but we don't really talk. I feel like I talk more to the guys than the girls, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. You grew up in that environment. Your brother's a United fan, the United Arsenal era and all of that. So
yeah,
like I definitely hear it. Jordan, you hear it as well in terms of that era was
Intense.
Yeah. Listen,
Yeah,
people. Go on, James. Sorry.
Well, because that was an era I missed out on. My year was Arsenal Chelsea, just because of Drogba and then just dunking us year in, year out. So I was just after the United rivalry.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah.
Can't even call that era really. That was just us kind of
Yeah.
looking up at them, thinking they really have taken over for a good few years. But listen, people, we're here to talk football. Big up Chloe in the building. Go show her some love. Instagram there, TikTok there, channel link, YouTube there as well. And been doing content a little while, but she paused for a bit, but she's back again. So show some love.
Back.
There you go. Arsenal back again in the FA Cup as well. Back to winning ways in the FA Cup as well. Portsmouth 4-1 win at Fratton Park away from home. So back to London into the fourth round. That is now tomorrow. As Sean Dyche would say, that's utter woke nonsense because usually it's on a Sunday after the match is done. But the draw is now tomorrow night before the Liverpool game, I believe. James, can you
that was
confirm
so
it?
annoying.
You look confused. Am I right?
Yeah, you're right. That was so annoying. But because I was chilling with my match reaction. I was like, yeah, I'll get it out after the draw, find out who we're playing, react to the game, react to the next round, all that. 3 hours later, I find out that the draw's not actually then. So, yeah, I got, it helped if I research, but there we go. You also said something there that confused me, but you're absolutely right. We haven't actually got past the third round for 3 years. So it was 2023 when we got past Oxford United away, and then lost to City at the Etihad in the fourth round, I think.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I mean, Arteta is so funny because I actually think it's become almost wired in our minds that Arteta's never won anything. We forget he has won the FA Cup. This group haven't won anything. But it was so long ago. I mean, 6 years ago, 2020. That's right. And he hasn't sniffed a fifth round since. Like, we won it and have done absolutely nothing in it since. It's unbelievable, but there you go.
We've been embarrassing since. Let's be honest here. Third round majority, fourth round once. Didn't you hear when Odegaard came on? I don't know if you listened to the commentary. The commentator said he hasn't won a game in the FA Cup.
That's unbelievable.
Wow.
So, yeah, when I heard that, I was like, right, it's been a fair few years. We haven't really done what we need to be doing. Jordan's having a mare.
Turkish, that's your thumbnail, okay? Just
mate, this is bad. I'm blaming Chloe. I'm just blaming Chloe. I don't know why I'm blaming Chloe. Blaming Chloe. You know what? Let's just leave it.
This thumbnail might do better if I'm honest with you.
Yeah, people go, oh wow, a second guest.
Yeah.
Oh,
who's behind the curtain? Jordan. you tricked us. But Jordan, try sort it out. Some people do appreciate the visual aspect of it. But James, obviously, can continue on. Albeit that record we've had since winning it with Arteta, we've now won our first game back in the competition this season. Onto the fourth round, we'll know who we get tomorrow. But it was a win, expected win, heavy rotation, a hat-trick from Martinelli, set piece FC, ole, an own goal, another one. I mean, what angle did you take? I haven't seen your match reaction, so I don't really know. I don't know if you've seen mine, but we're here to talk.
I actually haven't seen yours. Apologies. Normally do tune in. I saw your title. I have a feeling it was to do with Havertz, but I haven't watched it.
It wasn't. It was the.
Was it not?
It was the fact that for 30 minutes we didn't even have a shot on goal against Portsmouth. So the attack in general, but I don't want to start on that note, but because we'll come to that.
We'll come to that.
But our open play, we didn't have our first open play shot until Martinelli when he put it just wide after that Marino through ball. So that's the problem I called little, even though I think it's a bit bigger than little.
No, okay, fine, fair. So my highlights were look, we'll get into the nitty-gritty of the game. I think the strikers are definitely a talking point. And the reason I think it's a talking point is because if Arteta wanted to use minutes against the championship side to get some confidence into Gyokeres, you can play Havertz in midfield when you bring him on. You could play Jesus out wide. You can do a few things, but he really wanted to see Jesus down the middle, followed by Havertz down the middle. That was quite clearly, I think, something he wanted to see. And I think while Jesus for 30 minutes didn't really do anything, I thought he really came to life half an hour in. Was making a lot happen. I mean, it's a great assist for Martinelli. And when Havertz came on, again, against championship opposition. Let's be very fair about that. They are in the championship, right? I think so. You know, Kai looked really neat, like really tidy. So yeah, I think that's a talking point. You're right about the attack. We can cover that in a bit. I thought Marino played brilliantly. I thought I was like, as a lone six, I thought he was great. I didn't expect that from him. So that was good. I think my overall takeaway, which it's no analysis of the game. I think it's more analysis of just being a football fan supporting this Arsenal team. When Arsenal went 1-0 down after 2 minutes, I kind of went, oh, okay, that's a bit annoying. But I wasn't too worried. When we equalized, I didn't even like audibly celebrate. I just went, yay. Now, that's not because I don't care. That's not because I'm not bothered about this game. That's not because I didn't think it was important. That's not because I really arrogantly thought we were going to destroy them. It has nothing to do with that. It's that across a long season where we're going to play probably 60 games plus, not every game can always feel huge. Not every game can. Basically, every Premier League game feels like that. We've got a Carabao Cup knockout. Jordan's having a nightmare.
I'm having a stinker. I'm having a Gyokeres.
He's having a Gyokeres.
I'm having a Gyokeres. Allow me. Sorry, I'm listening.
No, showing up for 2 seconds every 10 minutes. No, I sorry. So the reason I didn't really celebrate any of the goals or that I wasn't kind of elated we made it through. Look, we have to win trophies. I love the FA Cup. I will treat that and the Carabao probably more seriously than most fans. But at the same time, there's a little room for us just being quite content, getting the win and keeping it moving. I think that's something I wish we did a little bit more of in the Premier League. It's why I get on to people when they go, oh, like the Emirates didn't bring the atmosphere. I'm like, why do they always have to bring the atmosphere? I feel like every game we have to bring some mad atmosphere. Like, it's cool. Just keep it moving. We're a good side. We did that. You sort of touched on concerns there that I'm probably going to agree with absolutely all of them. I just think for this game, I probably don't really care too much, basically. And then how we look on Wednesday night, Chelsea away, yeah, my eyes will be a little bit more peeled then. But standard win, really. We did what we had to do. And I thought Arteta rotated well in doing so.
Similar question to you, Chloe. Overall thoughts, and by the way, Chloe's a match-going fan, people. So yeah, she's part of that atmosphere that you talk of.
Bring the energy, Chloe.
The gym pads and all of that, and so yeah, Chloe.
Burnley at home. We need to you need to be the 12th man. We need to lift it. We want the flares and the tifo and everything. This is huge. Sorry, carry on.
No, it's all right. Do you know? I think I agree. I feel like the pressure is mostly with us. Like, we put more pressure on ourselves than we need to. And everyone talks about, like you said, atmosphere. Like, I was watching the 2 games on split screen the other day, the Palace and Villa game and the Man City game. And it was so crazy because, everyone knows at Selhurst Park, they've got this amazing atmosphere, right? And I'm switching audios between both screens, and the atmosphere in the City game was so dead. And I'm thinking, this is something that no one ever talks about, but they only ever talk about atmosphere at the Emirates and, oh, yeah, it's not the same as it used to be. And I'm just like, if you think even now, like we're playing a game every 3-4 days, you've got people that are at work all day and then they're traveling to the Emirates for an 8 o'clock kickoff. Sometimes we just want to sit and watch our team play and just enjoy the game. Some days you're there and I'm there as well, and I'm chanting and I'm screaming and I'm giving it my all. But some days I'm there to just watch my team bag of 3 points and go home. So I think pressure wise, it's just not needed. Like, if you're in it, you're in it. If you're not, you're not. What matters is are we taking home the points, or are we going to get the win?
Yeah, I think fan-wise, listen, we've come from dark days in terms of what the Emirates was 5, 6, 7 years ago, to what it has been the past 2-3 years. And I do think Arteta plays a part in putting a lot of pressure on it with the whole shin pads thing. That's why I used it tongue-in-cheek.
Yeah.
But on the FA Cup, Chloe, we're through, but, currently in all competitions, semi-final, Carabao Cup up next. Jordan's interrupting too, but let's get Jordan in before his camera interrupts him again. So what are you saying?
And my mic on. Sorry. So no, before you go to Chloe on the actual game, just wanted to add one kind of final point on atmosphere. I mean, how about you guys give us a reason to chant? Yeah. How about you guys earn your 200 grand a week and give us a reason to get excited? Yes, I get it. There's a level of responsibility from fans to turn up and come with an energy. But come on, man, allow us. And I think it's a bigger problem. I think the point Chloe makes is really good there about the Man City game. Watching football on TV for other teams, there's only 2 stadiums that I've seen where it feels like there's a vibe. Sunderland and Leeds, Ellen Road. Apart from those 2 stadiums, watching TV, watching games at Old Trafford, the Emirates, even Anfield, all the teams, they're the only two clubs where when I'm watching them play, I can hear and feel a vibe. Newcastle sometimes, Palace, who I think are one of the better ones. I've watched plenty of Palace games and the atmosphere is dead. And that might be down to the football we're watching and the prices we're paying. People are just a bit cheesed off. But I think it's a bigger issue than just the Emirates. I think it's a wider problem. Atmospheres and grounds generally doesn't seem to be particularly popping or fun. But sorry, back to the game today.
Stadiums they build are built for not just football, innit? So that's also hampered it a little bit. And when you're a big club, I think you lose that innocence of what football once was. Do you get what I'm saying? In terms of, I think Sunderland, Leeds, I think clubs that are up and down a bit more, they know what it is, right? There's a hope that maybe one day because both clubs have been successful in their own rights here and there. Sunderland especially, 6 league titles I think they got. But I think when you know what it is and it's not that, and by that I mean we're not a club that should be challenging, should be winning, I think you can kind of sit back and get up and get behind it a bit more with it's a bit more loosely. Whereas with Arsenal, with United, Liverpool, etc., there's an expectation. I mean, even Tottenham have this expectation as fans all of a sudden, and they've never won shit. So I don't know. I don't know why it's Big Six related, but I mean it is all mad. But yeah, Chloe, overall thoughts on the game? We're in all competitions, but the FA Cup is a big one. I put it 3rd on the list of priorities. I'd say Premier League, Champions League, FA Cup, then Carabao. But we're in a semi-final. We rotated heavily, and we got a big win with Martinelli getting a hat-trick.
Do you know what? I was really happy for Martinelli because I think he got a lot of stick, over the last couple of days for the situation in the Liverpool game. And, everyone has their own thoughts on it, but it was really nice to kind of just see him come. There's no distractions. He's focused on the game. He got a hat trick and he did well. And it could have been more than 3, So I think that was good for him. I think, do you know what? As much as I agree with you in terms of Premier League, Champions League, FA Cup, Carabao, but I do think as of lately, there's a lot more hype around the FA Cup. People care more about winning it now. I think since Man City have kind of dominated the Premier League and, you've got teams like Man United, it's kind of the only cup that they're kind of capable of winning lately. There's a lot more hype around winning the FA Cup as of recent. So I'm glad that we're through. I wasn't stressed at all. I was at a kid's party whilst I was watching the game on my phone. So it's I've got kids kind of climbing up walls and then I'm zoomed into my phone. But I think it was nice to just kind of be able to watch a game without the pressure.
No stress.
And to just enjoy watching the guys play, see the goals, see the teamwork, see the plays that they was making, and get the win and be like, that was nice, and then move on with my day.
Yeah.
That was basically, that's literally how I felt. And that's what I meant. It's how many games can you kind of just put your feet up and enjoy it? Now, don't get me wrong. If we stayed 1-0 up to the 30th minute, I start to get a bit tetchy, but let's get to that before we start to stress. And actually, Arsenal responded really well because we weren't playing great, but actually we were behind for 5 minutes and kept it moving. So yeah, I agree. I think we were largely quite relaxed throughout.
Yeah, I agree too. I mean, I kept on mentioning that Liverpool game was a big one because I never call it a 10-day rest, but there's a 10-day period where, for me, the main competition is parked off for a little bit, and then you get the supplement competitions. Because Chloe's right, the supplements have become higher in demand since Man City and Liverpool sometimes have been scooping up trophies over the last 8-9 years. But Jordan, very, very good win. Your guy scored a hat trick.
Hey, well, before we get to my guy, same as what James said. I thought it was quite a routine. I liked how they kind of approached it. I mean, going 1-0 down in the first 5 minutes, whatever it was, isn't ideal. But I don't think that was because of complacency. I don't think they went 1-0 down because they thought, oh, it's only Portsmouth, we've got this. I think they just literally got caught on an attack, and that can happen. But I love the response. It was a real professional. This is the cup. We're not going to boil you off. We're going to treat you with respect. We're gonna take this seriously, and we're gonna treat you as if you're a team that we just need to beat, rather than you're a lower league team that we're gonna assume the win's gonna come. And I like that, because we know in the FA Cup you can play a lower league team in a lower league and you can get slapped if you don't come with your A game. If you don't come with your mind right, you go to away. It's Portsmouth away as well. Those banana skins can catch you up. So I like that we equalize straight away. We've done that a few times this year as well. We've conceded a goal, and then I'm here waffling on, and I don't even know my camera's gone again. But I'm going to finish. I've started, so I'm going to finish, and then I'm going to go to bed. I liked how we just handled our business. Good goals, and handled business in that sense. Martinelli now, I'm really happy for him for the same reasons that Chloe said. He's had a bit of a rough week, and to come back with a hat trick, I think is really good. For him, that might be his first hat trick for us. I think it might be
senior football hat trick.
Yeah, man, I rate it. He could have had more hit the post as well. I thought he was really lively, and I don't think he should necessarily be starting as our starting left winger because of that. I think Trossard still has the edge, but it's good to see that he's still competing for that spot. It was good to see Salmon come on. I mean, the game was won by that point, but it's really good to see a youngster coming on, and he looked quite comfortable. Portsmouth were beaten by that point, to be fair. But it was really good to see him. And I agree again with James. I thought Marino in that single DM role handled business nicely. Again, it's Portsmouth, but he looked comfortable. He looked really comfortable in that role. So just another flex for our squad.
He played some absolute beauties between the lines, Marino.
Yeah, he did.
I think there was about 3 of them, and one of them was the Martinelli chance, our first shot in open play, 31 minutes in. I remember it because I was thinking, 30 minutes we've taken to have our first shot, and Martinelli should have buried that, but his first touch was immaculate, and it didn't. But Marino in that first, like we've seen Zubi do it a lot, but I mean, and I know it's only Portsmouth, but yeah, Marino.
My boy Double M.
Well, can I just start a bit of a wider convo here, if you guys don't mind, about like Arteta's profiling of players at times? Because I think today was like a really good look at what some players could be and what they haven't been, and a little bit of like an insight why. Now, okay, I always want to caveat when I'm talking about things like this. I'm obviously not a coach. Arteta knows so much more than me. This is just my very humble opinion. If you'll all entertain me with it. That run from Martinelli, like off the inside, driving inside, like, the fullback's not picked him up, is the type of run I want to see him make a lot more often. It feels like the type of run he makes when he's most dangerous, like when he came on in Bilbao and scored, like against Man City when he scored the equaliser. In his early days under Unai Emery, that flick on at the near post, we've actually known for years he's good in the air, but we never want to aim crosses to him. We never want to get him centrally to be the target for crosses, because being good in the air isn't just having a good leap. It's not being 6'4". It's actually having really good movement to anticipate where the ball's going to be and how to beat the defender to it. And actually, not only did he score twice from balls into the box, he's actually winning the flick on for the equaliser early on as well, which we keep alive, ends up in the back of the net. Now, Marino has done basically 3 roles for Arsenal. 6, which we saw today, box-to-box midfielder or as a striker. He's arguably looked the worst in the position we thought he was going to play, which was box-to-box. But of course, when you think about what he is profile-wise, of course, up and down the pitch, that's not his strength. He's not got Declan Rice's legs, or I don't think he's got Zubimendi's stamina or engine to get up and down the pitch. So you're asking him to do something that maybe doesn't come too naturally to him. It makes him look like a technically worse footballer than he probably is. But up front, you see his tech, brilliant finisher. And then in the 6, where he's not marauding up and down, just running the game, you saw his tech again. And so, it gets me thinking, like, are we profiling Martinelli right? Are we profiling Marino right? And then I'll go one further. Eze, I thought was really poor today. Central midfield again, in a central, as one of the 8s again. struggling to get in the game, struggling to make things happen. Final 10 minutes out on the left, a little bit more lively, a little bit more involved. So you kind of saw the flip side of that. And I don't know if you saw that screenshot against Liverpool of Nketiah and Timber running into the half space. Like they were like basically in the 10 spaces against Liverpool. And it's like, why are we not getting Saka there or Eze there or Trossard there or Erdegaard there, whatever? All this to say, I think Arteta is clearly an unbelievable coach. And maybe there's something in unpredictability. And he'll know how to use his players better than anyone, I know. But I do sometimes think, when you look at this game, just as a 90-minute little microcosm of the season, I do think sometimes you can go, like that's a better use of the players. And I actually think a lot of us have thought that for a little while. But Arteta maybe just says, you got to fit our system more than we're going to fit your strengths, if you know what I mean. Like he's never going to play Marino as the 6 and let Zubimendi bomb up and down, even if that actually fits the two of them more. Do you guys get what I'm saying? Sorry for the long tangent, but I just thought that game showed a lot of that for me.
I think it's a fair point, and I think the takeaway for me was Eze. I've championed Eze, and I'm adamant that the second half of the season he will be a key player. I think he needs a while to get used to playing for a big club and in a different role in an Arteta team, as we know, is very specific. So I'm giving him a little bit of grace. But today was the game where you're up against inferior opposition in a role that I think he would prefer to play in. And I don't think he was bad, but he wasn't good. He was just a very, very meh performance. He tried a couple of things. I think he needs to bring a level of aggression to his game that is missing. He needs to get the ball and drive. He needs to get the ball and really get his shoulders out and barge through people. He seems to be playing quite nice at the moment and even safe. And that's not why we got you. We didn't bring you in to play safe enough. We got you in to get the ball on the back foot, drop the shoulder, beat two players and put somebody in or get a shot off. And he seems to be a bit tentative. And I'm being kind. I'm being kind to him because he's given us some good performances. But sooner or later, we're going to need him to show something. If anything, for next season, when there won't be grace. Do you know what I mean? So I'm glad you brought him up.
I think he was poor, Jordan. And I know it sounds...
Maybe I'm being kind. Maybe I'm being kind.
No, and it's because of the level of opposition. I think if he played that exact performance in a Premier League game, 3 o'clock game against 10th, I'd say the same as you. Wasn't bad, wasn't good. But respect, and with all the respect in the world, I appreciate it's not easy playing championship opposition. But you saw a few raise their game and go, Waneri, Madueke, Jesus from the 30th minute onwards, Kai Havertz, Martinelli, at least with the goals. You saw them go, Marino, you saw them go, let me flex a little bit and just, remind you that we're Premier League players. And then we see that from Eze, and that was disappointing. And I'm with you. I think he's been better than people are giving him credit for. But there has been a lull in form for sure. And today was a touch concerning for me.
And the thing for him as well, he won't get many starts. So when you do get a start, you got to take it. And you've got to put your hand up and say, yo, I know that Odegaard and Trossard are the guys, but you can rely on me, boss.
I think he will.
I think you're right.
I think he will get starts because I'm nervy about this whole attacking situation. Because we rotated the whole team basically, right? And there's individuals across both teams, whether it was this team that started or the last team that started or the team's majority of the season. There's been differences, right, in terms of lineup and combinations and all that. And we've still failed to really be consistently quality in attack in terms of end product efficiency, getting shot. This was a Portsmouth side. When I saw Nwaneri and Eze on the team sheet, I said, yeah, let's eat. 30 minutes it took us to get a shot on goal, and it was wide from Martinelli. 30 minutes. A Portsmouth, like, listen, Premier League was 6 points clear, but it was the day after seeing Man City absolutely, blow Exeter to smithereens, 10-1. So this is a competition where, especially for the fringe players, when you've got minutes, right? Because Ranieri first half, in my opinion, first 30, he was as poor as Eze was, right? But then he picked it up in the second half. It looked like he thought to himself, you know what? I need to do something. I need to do more with this opportunity I'm getting. With Eze, I didn't see that, but I still feel it's a fundamental problem tactically that doesn't allow the attackers to flourish. And there's always that default of like for like in terms of subs, or handbrake more than it is more on than it is off in terms of when games are tight in the 70th minute and so on. So I still like the game made me feel like my match reaction title was big win because it was a big win, 4-1, right? But little problem, and that little problem for me, Chloe, is the attacking. I don't know, coordination still doesn't seem quite there yet. You go week in, week out, more or less to the Emirates. I mean, have you been worried about Eneze or Manieri or the attack in general? Because Martinelli is now our top goal scorer across all competitions, right? Martinelli, he's got 9 goals, 10 goals and assists, but 9 goals. He's our top scorer, right? Trossard's our highest output. He's got 13 GA. So all summer we're all debating Martinelli or Trossard. Martinelli, Trossard. One of them's got to go. They've both been, whether you're looking at goals, Martinelli, or GA, Trossard, they're top of the pile, each of them. So I still look at this attack and think, when's it gonna click? Because I do fear that what I'm seeing recently and what I'm feeling recently was the same way I felt maybe going during the Man United game, FA Cup, January last year, or during those games where it costs us. And I'm not saying anything cost us now, but I'm looking at March and April and the big games that are coming up. Like PSG, the first leg last year, we missed chances to keep that game competitive. So I'm looking at these months now to build that, not just the points gap with Man City, but build that momentum and loosen up a little bit in terms of the crunch times in the game. But Chloe, you know better than me at the stadium. You watch it, more often than not. Is there anything in that? Do you worry about the attack, or do you feel like it's bound to click eventually?
Do you know what? I worry, but I have faith as well, because I feel like what I notice more is we have a habit of, like, we'll play the ball wide, drive it up the wing, and then they're usually going to either chip it into the box or play it across the goal. And a lot of the times when they're either chipping it, especially when they're playing it across the goal, it's like the reaction is too slow. And sometimes I'm like, by now, and this is probably one of my issues with Gyokeres, because it's like, by now, clock the play. Like, you should be able to read the play. We do it enough where you should be able to assess what's going to happen so you can position yourself. Goals has been our biggest problem. Like, last season, we lost 4 games. We lost the same amount of games as Liverpool, and they won because we're not scoring enough goals to win games. We're drawing too many games. And I think that hunger, like, I'm not going to say it's not there, because there's obviously an immense amount of pressure on the players, but it's like, by now, the amount of times it works, like, we can play it wide, get it up there and put it into the box, but we're getting no result from it. And if we do, sometimes, like even the goal today with Norgard, it's scrappy. It's not neat. It's scrambled. And it's like, there's just no kind of connection, I feel, with the players sometimes when they're playing, that it's like, by now, you train enough together, you should know enough together to communicate and see what's going on the pitch, to just make those plays, position yourself. Half the goals that we miss really are tap-ins, and I think that's where the frustration comes, because so many games we could have scored 6-7 goals and we're like, what's going on? And don't get me wrong, like, I'm not going to tear Noni down for missing that penalty today, but at the same time, it's like, look, you've sent the keeper, you've sent the keeper the wrong way. It's just, you could have just tapped that in, but I think the pressure that's on the club right now is getting to the players more, in a sense where they're allowing that to overcome what's going on the pitch. So we're not reading the plays well enough to know, if I just run up here, I could just tap that ball in. If I could play it wide here, because even people get onto Gyokeres, but when you take out the fact of how he's playing, right, and him not scoring goals, he's actually creating and opening up the space for other players to come in and make certain moves. And I feel like it reminds me a lot of Havertz when he joined. When Havertz came to Arsenal, no one was on it. Everyone was like, right, you're our highest paid player, you're not scoring goals. And it's like, everyone was like, why does Arteta keep starting him? He's got so much faith in his play. He used to piss me off. I'm like, what's this guy doing? And then he got given that penalty, he scored the penalty, and it's like, little things like that will help build. And this is why I'm not going to diss Gyokeres, because as much as he's not doing what everyone thinks he should be doing, statistically, he's actually outperforming Havertz at this point of the season, when Havertz joined us, and now everyone's singing Havertz's praises. So I think it's just a matter of, like, sometimes
Say it again.
in football, it's not just about coming in and scoring goals. What are you doing on the pitch that's allowing your teammates to make better plays? But we have to finish our dinner. I say this on my Instagram all the time, finish your dinner, because you know, we've been a banter club for so many. My brother is a Manchester United fan. Having to live in a house with a man who supports Manchester United through our banter years was horrid. So now that we're actually playing football, and if you've seen my Instagram, I like to piss off opposition fans. Like I'm bantering on there all the time. I'm
That's the
posting
game.
stuff to get reactions, because I've been through the days of struggling. I've been through the days of going from champions to being a mid-table club. So now that we're playing well, I want to celebrate that. But we need to if we want to win anything, we need goals.
So here's the question, guys. What's a Mikel Arteta goal? Because I know what a Jurgen Klopp goal is. I know what a Arne Klopp goal is.
It's a set piece. I'm not even bantering that. It's a set piece.
It's a set piece.
Well, we're all laughing, but actually, his dream goal might actually be the controllables and a set piece you can control. Like, what is the Mikel Arteta goal? I don't know if I know anymore what the Mikel Arteta.
But also, you know, Arteta, I think, has made it clear for years now that it's everyone chips in, everyone gets goals. Not long ago, the rhetoric was, if Haaland doesn't score, who's showing up? And that actually kind of proved true for 3 games in a row for City. So I think there's some truth to. I definitely agree with, like, we leave goals on the pitch. I've said that so many times. I agree with Chloe on that. Like, there's games where I'm like, you've battered Brighton and the score was 2-1, drove me crazy. But then there's this kind of like narrative of, well, Arsenal can't attack under Arteta, and it's like, I just don't think we attack the way we want our team to. I think it's all methodical. It's all thought out, and it's all with rest defense in mind. I think it's all go on.
Do you trust it to work this time is the big question, because it seems like going into crunch time for the 3rd title race in a row, I don't include last year, but going into crunch time, 3rd title race in a row, we're going into the more even further pragmatic side of things than the more. So do you think it's going to... I do.
Do you think we're looking more pragmatic than we were in 23-24?
I mean, 23-24 after Dubai, right? You're talking.
Yeah, I mean, we were a bloody good team.
I mean, we was on a real roll there. You know when I say ride a wave, that was riding a wave.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That wave nearly took us to.
Jordan,
to the
just
promised
leave,
land.
man. Jordan, it's been fun, bro. We'll see you soon. Yeah. Catch you next week.
The whole community going mad. Just leave, and they're thinking, what, the pod completely or just today's show?
It's like I'm on a meter. Like every 10 minutes, I got top up another 10p in the meter.
You jinxed yourself.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm getting
I'm
10
glad
minutes
you
now.
did that, 'cause
I did.
Like, no
I
boasting at the
deserve that.
beginning.
I deserve that.
Do you know, Turkish, a great question. Basically, you're asking, is it sustainable to keep feeling like the attack's not clicking, but we find enough goals to win games?
Like what I'm asking, sorry to cut you again, but I want to make sure you lot understand the question, right? It's March, it's April, it's a big game, it's PSG, it's Bayern Munich, it's Man City at the Etihad. It's going into the game, the approach. I think we know now the approach is going to be the more handbrake on-ish approach, try and control things, and even 70 minutes in, we're going to be methodical rather than throw the kitchen sink at it, right? That has somewhat cost us before, because the attack haven't finished their dinner. I'll use Chloe's quote there. Whether it's Aston Villa away, West Ham at home, PSG first leg last year, there's enough evidence to say we've done this approach and we've been caught out because the attack hasn't been good enough. Do you feel like now, even though we all question the attack and you know, is it going to click or is it not going to click, we're going with that approach again? Do you think it's going to pay off this time?
Okay, I'll answer your question with a question, because I hear what you're saying, but are we in danger of overanalyzing? Because City have Haaland, they are much more free flowing, they're more open at the back. But when I say free flowing, they can still look very methodical. They can still look very slow and pedestrian at times. Is that not just the quality of opposition to a degree? The nature of where football's gone now, like, you know, just the way the game's evolved. And basically, at the moment, I think we look closer to unlocking our attack than City look to tightening their defense. So so maybe it's just picking your battles. Like I totally get what you guys are saying. I don't think we're kind of free flowing and brilliant, but we had a few games in a row. I think it was Brighton at home. Who else did we play at home? Villa at home. There was someone else we played around then. We'll have a look at the fixtures. Palace at home. It's like 3 home games where I thought Villa was 4-1, could have been 5 or 6. Brighton should have been 3 or 4, and Palace should never have gone to penalties. So I sort of go in and out. And then I look at games like today against Portsmouth, where, funnily enough, I don't think we played as well on the attacking front, but we actually just took our chances. We're a weird team. Go on, John.
So yeah, I think my answer to Turkish's question would be, I don't think the attack will get much better than this. So we talk about, will the attack click when it really matters? I think the answer is no. But I think that we win the leagues, if we are to win the league, because of our defense. I think we don't win this league because we're going to bat teams 4-5 and have free-flowing football and outscore you. We're going to win this league by, you can't score past us, and we've got good enough attackers that can get 1 or 2. So I don't think us win this title, or when it really comes to crunch time in those semi-finals, quarterfinals, in the run-in, I don't think we win those games by having an attack that clicks and is coherent and is fluid and you got your shooting boots on. This for me is as good as it's going to get. But I think the way to win those games is, you can't score past us, and if you do, you might get 1, but we know we can get 2. So I know we've got 4 today, but I don't foresee many games where we'll be getting 4s and 5s and 6. Do you know what I mean? Man City can score 10 one game. So go on, James.
Saka's not found his shooting boots yet. Eze hasn't clicked. Havertz is just returning. I think whether you rate Gyokeres or not, even those who don't rate him would surely have expected more than this. The amount of analysis I heard where people went, I didn't want the guy, I don't really rate him, but at least he'll score some goals. He's not even doing that. So I think there's surely so much more to come from quite a few players. So I think there's a chance we become more efficient in front of goal without necessarily becoming better to watch. But I fear that we're 42 minutes in and there's a lot of positives. And like, I totally agree with the conversation. It's a nuanced thing. Just because you score 4 goals doesn't mean the attack clicked and everyone's happy. They were all set pieces. Actually, every single one, even the Martinelli second goal, is technically a set piece, right?
Oh yeah.
So yeah, Jordan, man. So
I don't even like. I know what you're saying, but from my perspective, this hasn't been a negative conversation. It's been from my perspective. I feel like
you can see the comments now, though.
100%.
That's what I'm saying.
But that's all right. This is where the comments flip into the positivity side of things. Or big up Chloe as a special guest. Either or, people like, hype, subscribe.
So I've got a question for your question.
Jordan, how can you flicker off, flicker on, and interrupt?
Allow me.
Also, his camera comes on when he wants to talk.
I'm trying.
I'm talking. I've got a point. I've got a quick point. Okay, on to Turkish.
You're an idiot. You're an idiot. What? It's going to go in a second, so just bear with me. My question to you guys is, how much do you care, though? Because you guys are the ones that have been saying, as long as it brings a title, you don't really care how the goals come. I do, but everyone else doesn't really care, which is fine. But so if they win the league, does it matter that the attack isn't particularly great to watch, fluid, coherent? If this is how they're going to win the league, do you guys care, or will you feel like we could have done a little bit more?
Chloe, you go first.
I think for me, I would rather get the wins. Like, even like what you said earlier, when you said about, like, you know, at least we know we can get like 2 goals. I don't feel like it's like that every game. I feel like we should, but sometimes we don't. So for me, I want the players to perform. I want them to connect. I want them to play well, because I feel like we deserve the recognition of the fact that we are a big club. And I feel like people like to play on our name and they like to put us down regardless of how we play. And, you know, if it's not corner FC, it's set piece FC, it's own goal FC, like, people would do anything to not give us the accolades we deserve, right?
I think, I'm asking, do you care? If they
I
win the league title,
care
do you
in a
care?
sense of I want to win games, but frankly, it would piss me off more if we played amazing football and lost, or if we played amazing football and took home nothing, than if we had a bit of a shaky game, but we still got 3 points and took home a trophy. You know, to me, it's about results, but then what do we do after those shaky games? We need to find a way to come back and improve. Like when there's games where it's 0-0 at 45 minutes, how many times do they come out? And I don't know what Arteta's telling them in the dressing room, but sometimes after that 45 minutes, they come out and they are just on licking man down. And I'm with it, you know? But at the same time, I'm like, are we going to get the 3? Because if not, I could give a damn if they seed the ball into the goal from the halfway line. If we don't take the 3 point, what does that do for us? Do you see what I'm saying? So we could play amazing football and still lose, but we could have these games here and there where it's a bit shaky and we're bagging the 3. And I'm like, do you know what? Pocket that. I'll take it. So for me, it's more about the results, but then because the boys are tired. Like I said, they're playing a game every 3-4 days. So we can't expect an elite performance every single game. They are. And even like players like Eze, I feel like you've got to remember he's come from Crystal Palace. If we're being real, I've got a lot of love for Palace, but Crystal Palace are not a club where they're title contenders. They're happy to just not get relegated, play in the cup games and do their best for those, right? So coming from that, he's playing great, but he is at a club where the demand is higher. More is expected of him. So he could play just as well as he played for Palace, but because it's a lot more intense at Arsenal, it's like he's not doing good enough. You know, it's a different ball game. And as much as I want to see more from him, and I know we're capable of seeing more from him, I think it's like sometimes we just got to cut the boys a bit of slack, you know. However, it does need to improve because if we want to keep playing at an elite level, we want to stay in the Champions League, we want to win all the trophies. People are talking quadruples and stuff like this. You've got to have the stamina and the energy to keep up with what you're playing with, you know.
You made a good point about it's about not sealing the legacy, but this team's been together for a little while now in terms of the core, and they've deserved something already in terms of the output, the points tally, the wins over the last 2-3 seasons, but we haven't got nothing to show for it. So it's about starting the legacy of this team, of this Mikel Arteta build. Let's say, and with the Premier League, I don't care how we win it, Jordan. You know me, I don't care how we win it, but just win it. I just worry about the cup competitions where it comes to the attack, because when it comes to one-off games, two-off games, that's where your finishing can cost you. And, you know, at the blink of an eye, you know, you're in this competition and then you're at, bro, that 03-04 season, that was that week where we went out to Man United FA Cup, Chelsea Champions League, and what looked like it was going to be, well, it was still a crazy season. We finished the season unbeaten, but we was in all competitions and the favourites at that point for all competitions. So I just need the attack to be a bit more prim proper. But on Martinelli though, because I haven't had my say on him, well done to him. You know, like I said with the goals, he's our highest goal scorer this season. But on the goals, his first goal, that's a proper striker's goal. You know, the corner, he finds the gap, he runs through. I think Timber's done that a lot as well. Utilized the fact that the ops always go for the big men, Gabriel, Saliba, Norgard, whoever it is. And Timbers managed to get a couple of set-piece goals. Now Martinelli as well. But like James said, he's always been a threat aerially. But that first goal, class, the proper striker movement. And that's refreshing because recently, I mean, we've all been talking about our strikers' movement. So that goal was proper. And overall, I mean, when you look at what you expect from Martinelli and the reality with Martinelli, I've recently said Trossard's been our best attacker this season, but Martinelli's in the top 3. If you know, it's probably Trossard, Saka, Martinelli overall. I'd say that's probably the top 3 attackers. So I just wanted to give Martinelli his flowers there because he doesn't really get his
top
flowers
3 this season
for the attack. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think when you're talking almost pound for pound impact, I mean, how he's basically not once a season been a regular starter and has that amount of goals and assists. I think there's probably some weight to that. And I think he's finding himself as and I really mean no disrespect, but as a squad option, you know, as someone who comes off the bench, has an impact, makes a difference, changes the energy of a game, and someone who, can come into certain cup competitions or whatever and know what it's about, know the standard that's required, and keep it moving. He's a trusted soldier of Arteta's for a reason, ultimately. And I really liked what you said, Chloe, about he's had a tough week. I think sometimes we're critical, well, not sometimes, 99% of the time, we're critical of players, managers, fans, media, whoever, but mainly players and managers. And I think this week is one of the few times where I can say the media and the fans have got it wrong and the players and the managers have got it right. And that's regarding this Martinelli-Bradley situation, because we all on the pod obviously called out Martinelli's behaviour on it. But I like to think, because this was certainly the angle I was coming at it from, I'm pretty sure you all did too, I like to think it was more about the head loss of the team that annoyed me. So some people were replying to me going, but Martinelli didn't see Bradley twist his knee. I was like, that's not the point. Whether he saw it or not, I didn't like that he was trying to push the player off the pitch. I think it showed a degree of head loss that ran through Gabriel on Havertz, Saka on Gyokeres, and lots of other things. That was my issue, not so much. We all know he clearly didn't see that. We all know he clearly didn't know he was that injured. No one was accusing Martinelli of being an awful person. But I like the way he responded to it on the pitch, off the pitch, like the way Arteta spoke about it, loved the way Szoboszlai spoke about it, loved the way Arne Slot spoke about it, and loved the way Arteta, even 3 days on, praised Arne Slot for something he said 3 days ago when he didn't need to. That was handled so well by the players, the managers, and, we wish Conor Bradley all the best because it looks like he's going to be out for the rest of the season. Now, that news came out today, and, he's had pelters from all angles, Martinelli. I mean, we live in a world that loves to preach, mental health and, basically look after people, be kind. There's one thing criticizing a player's ability and what they're giving. They're paid to play, and we are allowed to critique. There's another when you're really going for someone's character, calling them a disgrace, and essentially going in on them when they actually didn't know a situation. And a lot of fans and a lot of media did that. And for him to just focus on the game, get the hat trick, and keep it moving was good to see. Like I said, the most important thing is hope Conor Bradley's all right. Well, he's not. He's going to miss the season. That's a real shame. But I just thought, from the players to the clubs to the managers, they will handle that situation really, really well. Where actually, I think a lot of us who talk on the game didn't.
You can't see my hand up, but my hand is raised to make a quick point on a couple of things. Madueke, just briefly, the penalty for me was hilarious because in so many ways epitomizes his game, which is early part of what he does, excellent, finish, atrocious. And I made the point. I meant to make the point on the last pod, I think it was, where he cooks his man more times than not. He's actually really good one-on-one. He beats his man a lot. Even I'm surprised.
He's
brilliant. But his final ball or his shot, his finishing is atrocious. He's a really bad finisher, guys. Really bad. And that penalty for me epitomized him in that he did win the penalty, didn't he? He did win it himself.
Why did he take it?
Well, there's that as well. But
Jesus, Martinelli, Marino, Eze, I all have had ahead of him. Well, I don't know why he took it.
I agree. But the way he won the penalty was so good. He cooked his man, and then you serve up that as a penalty. I just thought, oh my God, that really just epitomizes your game. Great first bit, awful second bit. And then the second thing I want to make is Mars Lewis Skelly. And it kind of goes back to James's point earlier on about misprofiling. I wonder now if we need to kind of forget this left back experiment with Mars Lewis Skelly and start easing him in now as a midfielder, because I think he's done a good job last year out of enthusiasm. He's quick and he's very intelligent, but it's quite clear to see now, for me to see now, that he's not a left back. And I don't know if I want him even as our backup left back going forward. I think he's got so many more attributes to add if he's in the middle of the park. And I was thinking about that when you were talking about misprofiling people earlier, James. I just think to myself now, can we start playing you now as our fifth or sixth option midfielder? Because I think you could do a better job there.
I agree. You're on mute, Turkish.
It would have been good to have another left back available today, because it would have been a chance to play Lewis Skelly there, in my opinion. Right now we have to play him where we have to play him. But I agree, he hasn't looked the same. I've been arguing that he hasn't had the same minutes, and that can play a part. But at the same time, yeah, he had cameos last year where he was a lot stronger, and these cameos just are not hitting like they did last year. But he's still young, so maybe it is time to start testing the waters. But at the same time, we're going into a period now, Jordan, where do you test the waters? There's 2 Champions League games coming up.
Yeah.
There's no left back. There's no left backs available in the squad at this moment in time.
No,
So
I hear it.
it's a tough one.
Do you think? Sorry, just one final. Do you think that maybe because he was so good last year that we think he's playing poorly this year, but he overperformed last season, so we're judging him to a really high? Or do we just all agree he's not really a left back?
He's playing poorly.
Okay.
Last season, look, let's not rewrite history. Last season, he was brilliant. You don't go to the Bernabeu. Actually, fuck that. You don't twice against Real Madrid play to that level, on and off the ball. You don't go to Anfield and lock up Salah. You just don't put in these performances if you're just having a bit of a purple patch and you're feeling yourself and you're quite sort of plucky and feeling good that you're in the team. No. He played to an extremely high level. But like with everything, there is a coach on the other side. There's a team. There's analysts, and they're all learning. Okay, so how we didn't know about this guy? How do we get to him? Because during Timber, almost everything that's been thrown at him, he's dealt with. Miles, on the other hand, has come out of the team for Calafiori. Then has been asked to come in every now and again. Then he starts playing well. Then Nkapie plays ahead of him. He's probably not so assured himself. And this is a young kid. He's 18, 19. Like, of course he's, if he had a few doubts about what he's doing on the pitch, I wouldn't blame him. Everything probably happened a lot quicker than he expected it to happen for himself in this Arsenal first team. So he'll be fine. But I agree with Jordan. Arteta clearly loves the centre-backs at fullback. Cool, then run with that. Get Nkapie there as your backup. Bring in Mark Gahey or someone else. But it sounds crazy. We kind of want Kivior back. he was the perfect Gabriel cover. And then Nkapie and Calafiori would be your left-backs. And then Lewis Skelly is everything we need as our 5th midfielder. He's great on the ball. He's got the legs. He's got the energy. He's quite creative. He's a left-footed option. He's actually like the perfect profile for what we'd want to go and sign in January. So just get the defender and move him there.
Great moment from him for the 3rd goal, though. Quick free kick into Jesus. Yeah, nice cross as well. Pass, come cross, whatever you call it. And 3-1, that goal was vital, in my opinion, just to see off the game early.
Can we talk strikers?
Pardon?
Can we talk about the strikers, Jesus and Havertz?
Yeah. To be honest, I was literally going to get into that now.
Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, let's go. I mean, Chloe, I haven't got your background on our striker situation. Havertz been out a while. Have you been a fan of his? Are you eagerly anticipating this return? Gyokeres, did you want him in the summer? Jesus, was he always your guy? But the injury, like, what angle are you coming at this from? Because going into the next couple of weeks, they've all got that position there to win.
Yeah, do you know what? It's very up and down. Like, even with Jesus, I feel like he wasn't really doing much last year. He wasn't. And he for me, I think the main thing that I want to see in a striker is just consistency. Like Man City have the Haaland. He knows where to be, and he's going to bag a goal. We need someone who we know can just eat. And with Jesus, I love the fact that he's come back from injury, and you can see he's hungry. He's working hard. He's, he might not necessarily start off well, but I feel like once he gets into his groove, he's putting in a shift. I'm excited for Havertz. Like I said, when he joined us, I was kind of like, what's going on, right? Then when he warmed his boots, and I was like, you proved me wrong. Like, I could put my hands up and say, do you know what, he's done his bit for us. Gyokeres, I wanted him. Like, all the hype that was built around him, and he was on it as well. He's like, no, and he did this interview, and I was like, what are you looking forward to the most at Arsenal? And he was like, just feed me the balls and I'll score the goals. And I'm like, yeah. And then I'm not seeing it. So it's like, for me, like I even said the other day, like it got to a point where, because obviously at that point I didn't know when Havertz was going to be back, and I'm like, do we not have one of the little young'uns that we can just bring in and put up front at this point? Because it's kind of worked for us before. We've seen it with Waneri, we've seen it with Skelly, and Jesus, he's just come back from injury. I get they're trying to like moderate his workload. Havertz has just come back. They're trying to moderate his workload. Gyokeres ain't really doing what we need.
He's just
Finish your dinner.
Turkish,
like,
can you moderate our workload, man? How many pods are we doing a week? It's a joke.
I'm shattered.
Yeah, I'm exhausted, man.
I'm fuming. This guy's camera's been off for the majority, so I mean, forget
been having
moderating the
secret
workload.
naps anyway, you know.
Yeah, Chloe, something's going on. If he's got a visitor there, or he's napping, or something's going on, man. I don't understand it. But yeah, I'm with Chloe. You sound just like me in terms of how we perceive everything. Apart from Havertz hasn't proved me wrong yet, or any doubters wrong yet. This is the time for him to do it, in my opinion. And he came on. That through ball was beautiful. I can't lie. Like I said a few shows ago when Jesus returned, we're starving. So anything from a striker at this moment in time, it's steak, it's peppercorn sauce, whatever else you want on the sides, we're eating. Havertz looked good when he came on. A few touches here and there.
He wanted the goals. And he
Yeah,
didn't mind whether he scored them or whether he created them. You know, the ball he put through to Noni, lovely. He tried to take shots himself, lovely. And I think that's just what we need and what we need to see. Like, I'm tired of scrappy play. Like, there's so many times where I feel like we're in front of the goal. And it's like I've got a 9-year-old, and it's like sometimes watching his team play, and they're all in front of the goal, and everyone's like, "Well, where's the ball?" And you know, and it's like they're scrambling, and then the ball just gets kicked back, and it's like, fucking hell, man, just tap it in there. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah,
I just want to see that hunger. Who's hungry? Like, if you want the goal, just take the shot, man.
Yeah,
you know,
it is mad because scrappy is a good word to describe it. We just need them combinations, them 1-2s, that that whole Bergkamp Youngberg or the Henri Perez. We don't have enough combinations where people just they know each other like the back of their hand, or maybe we're doing this tactical. But James, you mentioned strikers as I was going to mention strikers. Is there a reason why? Is it Kai? Is the truth about Kai Havertz coming out tomorrow? Or
absolutely, yeah. Kai was the answer, and I'll make sure to get a 10-minute piece on that, so don't you worry. Just on what you're saying about being scrappy, by the way, I reckon Mikel Arteta thinks that you're more likely to whip the ball into the box and basically win the duel after that and get on the end of the second ball and create a chance from that than you are basically finding a through ball or like playing an intricate piece of football on the edge of the penalty area. He probably thinks you're more likely to generate a moment by basically causing not causing a bit of chaos, because I've asked for more chaos, but basically trusting your dual winners to just like power through teams in the final third, that is. And then in every other third, it's keep the ball. I don't know. It's just interesting. When you say scrappy, I was thinking, I agree, but I wouldn't know how to explain that, but maybe that's it. Anyway, on Havertz and Jesus, and we bring Gyokeres into this, I'm actually going to praise Havertz. I thought he looked really good. But let me just caveat by saying he looked very good at a level that Gyokeres more than proved himself at. 3 years at Coventry, banging in goals. Like, let's not... There was a lot of self-congratulatory, if that's a word, posting and analysis on Kai Havertz after the game.
Oh, the Havertz hive are out already, yeah?
Yeah, they're out. And I get it. He looked great. I better
get my raid, because they're going to be on to me.
Look, he looked great. And also, I'll say this. I don't think Gyokeres would have done any of the things that Havertz did when he came on. I don't think he would have. But that's not to say, like, it also doesn't prove that much. Like, how Gyokeres has scored goals at this level. And this is where I maybe upset the Havertz hive and the Jesus hive, if there is one. Do those two players go to Sporting and score the amount of goals Gyokeres did? In my opinion, no. And I think that's more a horses for courses thing. It's not me saying Gyokeres is a better player. I think it's just more where their strengths lie, where it suits a particular league, whatever. I don't know. Anyway, you can debate that in the comments if you disagree, fine. I don't really care too much. But on Havertz and Jesus, to give them real credit, I think what they did show was like an element of like, we can make it happen. I think with Gyokeres, there's a degree of like, you got to make it happen for him. And that goes against what he did against Leeds. That was a good goal. He did that himself. But more often than not, there's a feeling of like, he can blast it into the back of the net and he can get a few goals. But my word, everyone kind of needs to be on song for that to happen. And with Havertz and Jesus, they just did things. I said Jesus for 30 minutes, didn't do a lot. But that little dribble, do you remember we had the ball in the centre circle and you think he's going to pass it to the right, but he actually just cuts through the middle? Like, it's a great way to open the game because teams would much rather you're running at them out wide than running them centrally. He goes and does that. The ball to the back post to Martinelli is a great ball at Premier League level or at League 2 level, whatever level. It's a great pass. It's very difficult to defend. The Portsmouth shape doesn't look too wrong. He's put it on a sixpence for Martinelli. It's brilliant from Jesus. And he showed other bits of quality that I don't think you'd necessarily get from a Gyokeres. Havertz came on and just looked so secure. Like his touch, and I've often thought he's actually, for his technical quality that everyone keeps telling me is there, I've often thought, can you show me a bit more? But what I really appreciate about this game was he just looked so tidy. His touch was neat. His weight of pass was right. His movement was good. Like, I just liked everything I saw. It felt like the team knew how to play with him and he knew how to play with them. And you've got to think, this guy's played 1 month of football in 2025, which is unbelievable. Like, we actually forget how long he's been out for. So Arteta, I think, has 3 strikers who I genuinely think are all on completely level playing field in terms of who's the number one. Gyokeres isn't playing well enough, but he's had the minutes and we're playing well. Havertz is Arteta's guy and is probably the one of all of them who's proven in the run-in he can deliver. And Jesus is the one who's looked the best out of all of them in the last month, and that's not Kai's fault because he's not played. So I think they're all just on a completely level playing field, and it's going to be so interesting to see what Arsenal look like in February. I think in January there'll be a lot of rotating; they'll all get minutes, but in February I think it's going to be really interesting.
Yeah, go on, Jordan.
Sorry, just my contribution to the striker chat is going forward. I mean, Berta should be planning now for the summer because Jesus should be gone next year. Trossard I wouldn't re-sign, and I would try and cash in on Martinelli as well.
Trossard?
Isn't his last year?
No, 2 years.
Oh, you got 2 years. Okay, I thought it was his last year.
You hold your horses there, buddy.
No, I thought it was his last year.
Nah, because last year, don't forget, you was doubting contracts, and then 2 hours after the show was released last time,
that was absolutely hilarious. So I love you so much, Jordan. But
Trossard?
No, the Bukayo Saka, like, I'm worried about his contract, only for him to sign.
We'll get there. We'll get to the comments. We'll get there in a little bit.
Unreal.
All right. But my point is that Trossard has been better this year than I thought he was going to be. I would have sold him, but he's been really good this year. But next year, do you feel confident, especially as champions, as Trossard as your starting left winger? I'm not.
It's starting's one thing, but you don't sell Trossard, bro. Trossard's. We've just spoken of how productive he's been for us. There's no way you sell that guy.
Okay, I'm looking at our front line forward.
Why do you think he's not good enough as a starting? Like, for me, he's better than Doku. He's better than Gakpo. I think, like, maybe these guys are a bit quicker, a bit more direct. Like, and to be fair, they've both won the Premier League. But I think this season Trossard's playing at a level that's as good as anything they've delivered in the Premier League.
He's been brilliant this year. Maybe I'm just used to better over the years from Arsenal on our left wingers, and I think he is a brilliant squad man. I'm just not sure he's got the consistency starting to be the guy that on game 1 next season, this guy can put up 10 games in a row where I'm happy. He's very, very sometime-ish when he starts, and I don't want that anymore. If he's going to be a squad man exclusively, fine. But I'm looking at our starting front line next year. It's probably going to be Havertz, Saka, and somebody else. Do you know what I mean?
It must be mad. We need to buy Listen, we'll talk about that when we need to talk about that. People,
Martinelli's got 1 year left. That's the one. Yeah.
After this one. Like, hype, subscribe, people. Obviously, we are over an hour in, so we're going to keep it moving, touching on the Chelsea game, give our thoughts maybe on a couple positions, and then make our predictions and slowly but surely wrap it up. But like I said, like, hype, subscribe. Individual channel links are in the description below, including Chloe's, including the socials. So go show her some love too if you've enjoyed. Make sure you leave your comments. Chelsea this Wednesday at the Bridge, first leg semi-final, Carabao Cup. We've rotated heavily. We've spoken a lot about Martinelli. Let's start with you, Claude. Does Martinelli start this game or does Trossard come back in? Because I asked that because a hat-trick is hard to put someone to the bench, but Trossard also deserves the spot that's now his on that left-hand side. Who do you start on the left against Chelsea?
Personally, I'd start Trossard, I'll be honest. I
Fair.
feel like in the more, the higher risk games,
Big game.
Trossard's just a bit more reliable as a starting player, and Martinelli's more of the game-changing sub. So yeah, I'd start Trossard.
James, Jordan, agree?
Yeah, I'd start Trossard. I'd go strong for this.
I agree.
Yeah, I probably
I'd
would.
go strong. I'd go strong. I mean, I'm not gonna. I said I'm not gonna ask, but Nottingham Forest game is big this weekend coming up as well. The Premier League for me is the one I've really got my eyes on. We missed the chance to go 8 points clear. If Man City drop points against United, whether they drop points or win the game, that Forest game is a big one. But I would go stronger than we did against Portsmouth. That's for sure.
For Turkish,
yeah.
You go really strong against Chelsea and Forest. Inter's a chance to rotate after that. Then Man United, you go strong. Then Kairat, you rotate again. The players, I agree with the tiredness point, but I also think, they gave us a lousy second half against Liverpool, so they need some momentum in a lot of the first team players' legs, and most of them were rested for Portsmouth. So give us a big week.
All right, cool. So we're all in agreement. Trossard starts that game. And aside from that, is there any other positions to talk about? Eze didn't do enough. Madueke definitely not too, with Saka in front of him. Yeah.
Kepa or Raya?
Why, are you serious?
I think he'll play Kepa.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's FA Cup. I thought he was taking because that mistake, I thought he was taking the piss, but he wasn't.
No. Carabao Cup.
Look, he was flipped.
I'd play Kepa. He's a good enough backup for me to not want to risk Raya getting injured in that game. Basically,
for me, you play number one in the main three competitions, and Kepa plays Carabao. That's how I see.
This is it.
So I play Raya FA Cup. Yeah. So
he's done it. Kepa was right to play this game, no?
I mean, it's Portsmouth, so you'd expect us to go through regardless. But when push comes to shove, I think later rounds. I remember when Jordan and Chloe actually, was it the FA Cup? Was it 01-02? Did Richard Wright play the whole FA Cup and then Seaman came back in for the final? Yeah. So that's what I grew up on. At a certain point, the main man comes back into the picture in the FA Cup.
But I think it's also about what you tell your players at the start of the season. If he's told Kepa, "You're my cup keeper," and then you kind of go back on that, the distrust that might imbue in the team might be bad. So I think it's about what he's told Kepa. If he's told Kepa, "You're my cup keeper," then he's got to play every game, even the final. But if he's told Kepa, "I'll play it by ear," because Kepa might not have signed for us on the basis that he might only get 5 games in the season, but he might have signed on the basis that he was told you won't be playing in the Prem, you won't be in the Champions League, but you will get 10, 15 games across the League Cup and the FA Cup. And if he goes back on that, that's not a good place for a manager to be in my opinion.
I'd go Kepa. There's 2 legs as well. Like, I mean, touch wood, but unless he throws it in the back of his own net 3 times, like, I'd think an error is recoverable. And basically, like, I'd be amazed if after 2 legs of football, we're saying we didn't go through because of Kepa Arrizabalaga. If we are, oh my word. But I'd still, not only would he have performed terribly, I'd still be looking at the team going, what did you do over 180 minutes?
And actually, I just remember Chelsea, old club, and I like that. Use that. You put their heads in the mud and get a clean sheet. So fuck it, I'm with you. Start Kepa.
And isn't he good from pens as well? Or am I making that up?
He did.
No.
He
The
did,
Carabao Cup
one
with Palace
save.
was awful.
Yeah.
Pens was awful with Palace.
No, but I thought the pens were good.
No, he didn't. He went the wrong way for every single penalty, apart from the one he saved.
Okay.
He went the same way for every penalty, innit?
Yeah. Like he missed every
And some
and the
people
one
were
that
saying
he saved was the one that he gets right.
that went that way. Some people were calling it a masterclass. I was like, well, after 8 penalties, but we could have been out after 5, mate, about the masterclass. You need to start switching it up.
But the pens were good. Like, penalties you should score. Penalties shouldn't be missed. Like, so I always think the keepers shouldn't save them. Keepers shouldn't save penalties.
I get you. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay, what about the striker? Gyokeres or Havertz or Jesus?
Double M.
Chloe?
Striker wise, I'd start Jesus.
Jesus.
To be fair,
Okay, so we got Forest away weekend. I'd start Jesus as well. Yeah, I'd start Jesus.
he's hungry. I feel like he wants it.
I feel like he should have had the penalty today, just to we need one of our strikers to get going a bit. But
he's not played brilliantly the last 2 or 3 games.
No. What striker has for us?
No, but no one. But let's not pretend like he should start this game because he's been playing really well recently. He's not been great.
Since the goal, he's dipped a bit. But I mean,
yeah. But you can see he wants it. Like he's coming out. He looks focused. He's not been great, but I think with the options we have, you don't really want to just throw Kai in there just yet.
Yeah.
And I don't really feel like Gyokeres deserves to start.
So it's funny because I think Arteta will see Forest away as the bigger game. I personally don't actually. I think Cup semi-final, Chelsea away.
I agree.
I think we really need to start doing something in terms of actual trophy lifting. So I see it as huge. But I think he'll see that as the bigger game. And actually, I think he's almost gonna I don't know how to explain it. He's gonna fake. He's gonna start Gyokeres to almost make us think, well, that's the guy he's been playing. That's his first choice 9. So he's taking it very seriously. I think he's doing it because that's probably one of the last starts he'll get for a little while. I think he'll go Jesus on the weekend against Forest. And I think he's going to start integrating the other two. I think we're going to get maybe a Havertz start against Inter Milan. It's a good level. It's a good test of where he's at. Kairat, he might try and again get minutes into their legs. Man United, if they're performing well, he'll get the start. One of those two will get the start. I think he'll start Gyokeres in the hope he really performs in an important game. And if he doesn't, not the phasing out process, but he starts just look at Jesus and Havertz a bit more.
When people say Havertz is Arteta's guy, I get it, right? And I agree. But I think Gyokeres is also Arteta's guy. Every time this season. No, Jordan, hear me out. Every time this season, and all 3 of us here, aside from Chloe, have had it where there's been games where we've been like, all right, maybe keep Marino in for this one, or maybe put Jesus in for this one. Arteta's gone with Gyokeres every single time he's been fit. That includes the first game of the season where we all thought Kai Havertz was going to start up front. That includes off the back of Marino's mini goal spurt and then Gyokeres coming back in. That includes after Jesus scored that nice goal off the bench and we was all like, you know what, give him the start next up maybe. Every time Arteta's had to trust in Gyokeres, he has. Now, he probably has more faith in Havertz. So Havertz coming back in. But that will probably be the guy moving forward. But I think Arteta's shown that Gyokeres is his guy and he's trying to make it work because he could have tried Martinelli up front at time this season. He could have kept Marino there a couple more times. Aside from that, options limited, but some people have suggested Saka false 9. Some people have suggested other ways to make it work. Yeah, James there. And he hasn't ever gone with it. He's always gone with Gyokeres. Don't forget in Havertz's first 5 months, he lost his spot in the team. He had to redefine his role and into the starting 11, which came after that Dubai break. Gyokeres hasn't once looked like losing his spot in the team. It's weird.
I'm not so sure. I think James has made an interesting point there. I think if he does start on Wednesday, Gyokeres, and doesn't play well, it might be the last time we see him starting for a while. If my theory that Gyokeres wasn't the guy Arteta wanted in the first place is correct, then that might just add more fuel to the fact of I tried the guy, I played him, he had no competition. Jesus and Havertz were both out injured. I played the guy, but now these two are back and they look better. I think he might be like, right, whoever plays well from here on in keeps the shirt. So I don't know if I agree. I think
interesting.
Havertz, I think clearly, rightly or wrongly, is his guy. And I think if Havertz is fit, I think he gets more from Havertz. Whether we like the role that striker plays for our team or not is a different discussion. But for Mikel Arteta, I think he gets everything he wants from Kai Havertz.
It's so funny because whoever speaks last is whoever I agree with. So I was agreeing everything Doug said. Then Jordan said, I went, actually, that's kind of true. I've long championed. If people think that Arteta was in a room going, I don't really want this guy, and Berta went, yeah, but look at Transfermarkt, look at all the goals. Oh, all right, fine. That's obviously not what happened. They would never, ever, 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 ever sanction a deal that Mikel Arteta didn't want. He clearly rates the player, and there were lots of other strikers he could have gone for. So I've still got eggs in the Gyokeres basket. I still think he's going to come good and score some goals. Will be a lot better than we've seen. Whether he's the answer or not long term, he'll be better than we've seen. I really believe that. But Turkish makes a great point. Like, actually, he didn't need to move Mourinho from the 9 spot. Beat Tottenham with it. Beat Bayern with it. Like, scored at the Bridge at 1-0 down with Mourinho up front. He could easily, if that was really the way he wanted to go, he had all the ammunition, his goal record in 2025. He had every bit of evidence to go, I'm sticking with this guy. Scores against Brentford. But ultimately, he brought Gyokeres back. And hopefully, we find out more this year why he's doing it.
All right, people, we're going to move on to predictions. Show some love to the individual channel links, the social media platforms, and obviously the video. Like, hype, subscribe. This is how the table is looking now. Jordan's back to the bottom of the table. He got the correct result. But what player did you pick again? Who did you pick? You picked...
hang on. Who got correct result?
No one. Well, I mean, everyone got correct result. We all said Arsenal win, but no one got correct score.
So how am I bottom?
Because me and Harry both, well, Harry and James both picked Madueke. He got an assist. So that's 2 points each on top of the point for them. And I picked Jesus, who got an assist. And I got 2 points there. So we all got 3 points and you got 1. So there you are. For the audio listeners, I am top at the moment on 28 points. James in second on 25. The guest is in third spot on 20. And Jordan's back at the bottom on 19. So we're going to work our way around from top to bottom.
Back at the bottom.
Back at the bottom. Maybe for good this time. We'll find out. I'm going to go Chelsea Bridge. Liam Rossignol.
Do you guys rate Rossignol? I know we haven't seen anything, but what's early thoughts? You think he's going to be good?
Nah, what's there to rate, man? The guy's mid-table with Strasbourg, and now he's coming to manage Chelsea. But I love it, though.
I actually do rate him, but I think the model Chelsea have got is what will ultimately prevent them from winning a title. It wouldn't surprise me if next year or even this year they win a cup. But in terms of the serious competitions, their model is going to prevent them. I don't care who you have in there. Pep could be there. Their model doesn't allow them to have the players that can win you a title. So I don't think he's the problem. I think the model's a problem. I think he's a good coach. I think he's probably a very... No, I actually think he's going to prove a very good coach. But I do find some of his quotes quite funny. That's all. It does also burn me that Chelsea got a black manager before my club did, but that's for another day.
Another day, indeed. All right, let's. What did I say? 3-1 Arsenal at the Bridge, and I'm gonna go Starman Saka. James.
I'm gonna go 0-0 Starman Gabriel.
Okay, cool. So Chloe.
I'm gonna do 2-1 to us.
Yeah.
Star guy probably Trossard.
Oof, okay, cool. Everyone's gone someone different. Jordan.
I'm gonna go 1-1 Starman M.
Cool. Different scores, different star men, couple wins, couple draws, people. Let us know yours in the comment section below. Obviously, give us your prediction and your star man. And obviously show all the love that you usually show. That's the prediction table done. So we're going to wrap it up with comments of the day. Chloe, this is where we just get a few comments from the last show and then read them out loud. I mean, I didn't actually get a comment ready for this one, but Jordan, I'm sure, has made up for mine. And
I've got a couple.
James is looking right now, so he thinks
no, it's so bait. It's so bait.
No. I've actually just got it in front of me. I will confess, I found it around 23 minutes into the pod. So I've started.
You've made that a habit of yours, you know.
I've started hiding it earlier in the pod. It's around the time Jordan gives us his thoughts on the game.
That's when everyone starts.
That's when they're writing them. That's when I'm reading them. But
That's when they leave the stream. I can actually check retention rate. As soon as Jordan's, that's it. It's done. It's peak.
Someone put a comment a few months back that said someone needs to create an AI app that mutes when Jordan comes on automatically. I was like, wow, an AI app, you know, that just like mutes it when my voice comes in, mute. Go on, James.
I mean, if you're a developer out there, I think we could make some money. I mean, if there's about 60,000 people watch this minimum, if 20,000 downloaded the app and muted you, I mean, I think that the app's making money. A developer, shout me, man.
You're rude. You're rude.
Yeah. Daniel X started somewhere. Now he's got Spotify. Anything's possible. Yeah, I mean, they all going on Jordan. It's so Jordan. Can I just say, I love you, man. You're such a nice guy. I think you're great. But the comments, the funniest ones are about you. I just want you to know, like, why are you shaking your head?
Just get on with it. It's fine. Don't try and butter me up.
I do. Like, I think you're great. I don't think you deserve this, but they are funny. James is so polite. He uses the words, quote, "I want to hear you loud and clear," to tell Jordan your audio is shit.
I saw that as well. I didn't see that one.
Say that again, Chloe.
It's like, well, can you imagine the comments after all the video issues today?
Chloe, no. you're going to see the comments are going to absolutely rip him to shreds. Or they're going to love that they couldn't see him.
Yeah, it's a win-win.
I don't know which one it's going to be.
There was just two more quickly. I can't believe I've come with a string of them. Again, so harsh. 417. They've time coded it. They've actually like put the moment so people can avoid it. James ruins the pod by telling Jordan that his mic isn't connected. Just so harsh. And then this one I just really like. It's a nice one. Because Harry Symeou was great, and he does not need our help finding him. But it's my favorite thing about collaborating in this space. It comes from Perth Aussie Gooner. Sorry, I didn't read the names of the others, actually. Apologies. But he says, Harry talks so much sense and shows he knows our club. I'm going across to subscribe to Chronicles of a Gooner. No wonder people are asking for him. I love that. I think that's what collaborating in this space is all about. Like everyone growing together, like being a fan space that everyone can just thrive in together. It's never like, well, one's going to be bigger than the other and eat into other people, what they're trying to do. It's a really unique space where genuinely there's kind of never enough. And I love that, you know, like I said, Harry doesn't need our help. He's thriving on subscriber count, doing brilliant stuff, commentary, working for TalkSport, doing amazing things. But I just love that. I thought that was, I love that. And, I hope us going on other channels and people coming on our channels is doing that for this media space. So, yeah, thank you for that comment.
No, I like that comment because it's reminded me of a couple of comments that were trying to get onto me or us about who we're picking for each show. Listen, people, there's no agenda with the choices. List out every single person that's come on this show since the beginning and tell me they're all the same with a straight face. Tell me they're all the same. Even week on week, it was Premsy, then Harry, and now we've got Chloe. Very, very different people, very different characters, backgrounds, etc. So calm it down with the moaning about guests. If you don't like the particular guest or his or her opinion, that's fine. I don't like a lot of opinions out there too, but keep it respectful. That's the way to put it across, because often there's guests on the show that have never done anything on YouTube before or are new to it. So harsh comments. Listen, once upon a time, I was sending postcodes and wanting to link up outside Emirates. So it took me a few years to get used to harsh comments.
Meet me in the car park.
Brother, I was there, meet me in the car park in the DM, bro. I wasn't doing it out here.
By the way, it's true. He showed me.
Yeah, I'm not. Listen, I didn't play that game. I still don't play that game, but I'm used to it. But I try and bring people on, whether it's Ashley Walters, award-winning #1 artist, whether it's Chloe, who's coming back into this thing, whether it's Sharky SDS, whether it's Harry Symeou, who does commentary, whether it's Premsy or whoever comes on. It's going to be a wide variety, positive, negative, neutral, and everything else in between. Just keep it respectful in the comments when you're talking about the guests that I or we bring on And that's the most important thing for me. With us, you can disrespect as much as you want. I don't really give a
I was
shit.
going to say that applies to us three as well. You know what I mean?
No, forget that. You can say what you want about us, man. We're veterans in this thing, man. OGs, man. Get the comments and algorithm going. But the guests, protect the guests. Yeah, that's the message of today for the comments. Jordan, have you done yours or is it a wrap?
No, I've got two quick ones. First one is watching Jordan talk about Saka not yet signing his contract. The same time Fabrizio posted Saka signing new contract until
Unbelievable.
And he actually came into the group in between that time frame to say, do you think that was a bit random, me saying Saka contract? And then Romano hits us with the bomber, and that's it.
less than an hour later.
So funny.
Halfway through your voice note.
And the final one is how big, and you have to watch last week's pod to get this one. How big is the boot of Jordan's car? The man has the whole Man City squad in it.
Yeah, I forgot the reference. Why?
Don't you remember Goodfellas in the car, stabbing him, shooting him,
Oh,
nearly demonetized.
Yeah.
There were good comments this week. There were a lot of good comments this week, to be fair. Apart from killing me, they were. Oh, jeez, Mike's. Let's just wrap it up.
Yeah.
Chloe,
you're amazing. Thank you so much.
So far.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Don't thank you him, Chloe. He says that to everyone. He's a
No, I don't.
I bet he does. I bet he does.
Chloe, don't even.
It's a lie.
I ain't gonna let Chloe go
I'll
out like that.
take it. I'll take it.
He said it. He
said
said it to every single guest after every single podcast, and then when we had 3 guests at once, he said it to all of them and never specified who to, just so that there was like a clean. Whoever wants it can have it.
I'm a nice guy, Chloe. I'm a nice guy. What can I say? You know what I mean?
Nah,
great.
Chloe, listen, it's been a pleasure because I know you haven't done anything like this before. You're doing your thing on IG and TikTok, but this is very different, and it's your entry into this. So yeah, big up because it was enjoyable. I think James Jordan agreed.
Yeah.
Big up you, Chloe. Big up yourself.
Thank you.
Come on. So
His
people,
camera's off. He's left the room. He's
He's far
gone
from his
toilet break
mic right now.
Yeah, you can hear it, the echo. But listen, people, show Chloe some love. The Instagram's there, the YouTube channel's there. The Instagram's the main one. She's on TikTok too. Is it the same name on TikTok and IG? Oh, one sec. Say that again.
My TikTok's different.
Send it to me and I'll put it in the description. There you go. Rather than spell it out, people, I'm gonna put it all in the description. It's easier for you. Just click it whilst you like this video, hype this video. Chloe, love, we'll get you on later on this season or maybe next season, maybe summer. It won't be the last thing we do. James, Jordan, love as always. People, community, love for the love. Hit the like button. Make sure you are subscribed. Huh?
Yeah, big up you. Sorry, big up you, man.
I love, man. No worries, man. How you gonna well, I was on the flow there, and you're just interrupting me for something nice. You're bigging me up, so I don't know whether to be angry or.
Oh yeah. By the way, big up Turkish. Yeah.
Love for the love, people, man. We're right. Next time, peace.